Hi friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another breakfast episode. Today we'll be making a bacon and cheese quiche. What you'll need for this recipe are 10 strips of bacon, 5 eggs, a pint of cream, a cup and a half of grated cheese, an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg and a pinch of cayenne pepper, a half teaspoon of salt. That's all that goes into the quiche itself. And for the tart pastry, you'll need a cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 pound of butter, cold butter specifically, that's an important note, as well as 2 tablespoons of ice cold water. So first off, let's put away all the dairy items until we need them. We'll start by preparing the bacon and preparing the oven. The oven for this one should be at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that the bacon's cooking, we can start working on the pastry. So we'll take our cup of flour, add our 1/4 teaspoon of salt, next we'll cut in cold butter. Now you might be wondering, why cold butter? Well, I tried warm butter once and it was such a nightmare to roll out that I realized that it actually matters. I think the cold butter helps the dough stick together better. Once the dough looks something like this, we'll mix together the water and the egg yolk. Alright, the water's cold now. We'll add 2 tablespoons. And your ice, water, egg combination will go right over top of the rest of the dough. So it was feeling a little bit too watery. I added a little bit more flour just to make it into a dough ball. Once that dough looks good, cover it with plastic wrap and set it in the fridge for 20 minutes. Alright, the bacon's coming along, it's almost done. While we're waiting for it to finish, let's get started on the custard of the quiche. First things first, let's add our remaining 4 eggs to this bowl. Next, we'll add a pint of cream. With those two mixed together, let's add a half teaspoon of salt. An 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. I only have a 1/4, so we'll just have to do half of it. And lastly, we'll add a pinch or a dash of cayenne pepper, maybe 2. Now that the individual pieces are done, let's bring everything back together and start to assemble our quiche. A quiche is sort of like a pie. So our first order of business is to roll out that tart pastry so that it fits in a pie pan and covers the bottom. Alright, that should fill our pan nicely. So to transfer it, let's fold it over on top of itself. And we'll fold it over in a quarter. And then we'll unfold it in the pan. The bottom of the quiche is nearly done. Before you put anything in it though, prick the bottom of the tart pastry with a fork. That way as it cooks in the oven, this crust will stay close to the bottom. That looks pretty good. Next we'll add the bacon and the cheese. The recipe calls for a cup and a half of cheese, but if you go above or below that a little bit, it shouldn't matter too much. In order to keep the cheese and bacon where they are, take a large spoon or a ladle and just ladle the custard over top. So to start off, bake it at 425 for 15 minutes, and then lower it to 350 and cook for a remaining 30 minutes, for a total of 45 minutes. Alright, here is our finished quiche. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video.